Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cummins PowerPods. I'm delighted to be joined by our Managing Director, Shveta Arya. Welcome, Shveta. The first question I have for you is our mission is to make people's lives better by powering a more prosperous world. When you think about environmental stewardship, how does it move beyond a commitment on paper and become something we live every day through our decisions, innovations, and the way we do business?
Thanks, Ashish. For us at Cummins, sustainability is not a separate initiative. It is embedded in our purpose, our business strategy, and the way we create long term value for our customers. Business growth and environmental stewardship go hand in hand for us. Every decision that we make is focused on delivering value to our customers while reducing the footprint that we have on our environment. This commitment is reflected across the value chain, from responsible procurement to manufacturing, product innovation, life cycle management. We continue to invest in technologies and operational improvements that improve energy efficiency, conserve our resources, and accelerate not just ours, but our customers' sustainability journey as well. For example, when the CPCB 4 Plus norms in the power gen market in India were launched, we were ready with our entire range of products even before the launch date. Not just because it made business sense for us, but because it is so important for the environment to move ahead and have products ready which reduce the impact on environment. So that's why I say that it's really embedded in our purpose and what we do.
Thank you, Shweta. That was very interesting about sustainability and how well it is embedded into our business that you answered in a minute back. So, my next question is linked to the points you made, which is that sustainability is no longer just an environmental priority, it has become a business imperative. How is it shaping the way Cummins India innovates and also grows?
Sustainability, Ashish, is not just about compliance. As you rightly said, it is a business imperative and it is very strategic. And it shapes how we innovate, invest, and grow. Our customer expectations, the regulations, the energy landscape is all evolving, and we are developing solutions which are cleaner, efficient, and future ready. So, our approach is to balance innovation with operational excellence while we work responsibly in the country. And sustainability is a lot about collaboration. We work with our value chain partners, with our customers, with our suppliers. We learn from each other to innovate and build solutions which really are cutting edge technology, but also far cleaner than what we have ever made.
As industries transition towards cleaner energy solutions, Shweta, what role do you see Cummins India playing in enabling that transformation?
Before I go to Cummins India, let me first say that as a country, India is at the forefront of the global energy transition that's happening. We are not 10, 20 years behind. We are looking for our own solutions that will work for the country. So we are moving at a fast pace. And Cummins in India is uniquely positioned to support this transition through a very broad portfolio of technologies. We are enabling our customers to decarbonize at a pace that works for them, works for the country, and is also affordable. So, our approach is not just about a single technology or fuel. Let me talk about, for example, our HELM technology, which means higher efficiency, lower emissions, multiple fuels. We are making these engine platforms which are designed to support multiple fuels, multiple fuel options, whatever the customer chooses. It could be diesel today, natural gas tomorrow, hydrogen after that, biodiesel, natural gas. So our customers get a lot of flexibility to move to greener fuels and also work with the fuels that are best for their applications and also which work economically for them and their customers. We're also thinking through circular economy. How do we bring reconditioned products into the market? Independent studies say that when we work with reconditioned products, they actually have the possibility to lower carbon emissions by 70% or more. That is beneficial not just for us, for the customers, our customers, their end customers, and the environment overall. So these are the few ways in which I think Cummins in India is very uniquely positioned to take some of the solutions forward with a lot of innovation, collaboration, and technology solutions, which can shape not just what's happening in India, but the rest of the world. Ashish, you've been asking me a lot of questions. I think now I would want to turn the tables on you and ask you some questions. As you lead corporate responsibility for us, there is, of course, an element of sustainability in how we lead in our communities. So, the question that I have for you is that our environmental commitment extends well beyond our operations. How do our corporate responsibility initiatives help create meaningful impact in the communities that we serve?
So thanks for turning the table, Shweta. Um, at Cummins, as you're aware, environmental stewardship doesn't stop at our factory gates. It goes into communities, in the areas we work, with our employees, and a lot of other things. Our approach is to create long term sustainable impact. How we do it, the locations we do it, where we do it, depends on a lot of factors. Like, let's take water stewardship, for example. So, through watershed development initiative, we have reached a point where 900 million gallons of water has been conserved, which is a sizable amount of water to be given back to the nature we live in. Similarly, on biodiversity conservation, we have conserved more than 20,000 trees, which is again a significant number in terms of the contribution we have made. And then we have multiple other programs which have led to 19% improvement in water intensity. So when it comes to building this ecosystem, we rely on partnerships, we rely on cooperations between the communities we work in and we operate out of. And we also work with very large number of NGOs, industry associations, because we believe that without collaboration and without partnerships, a successful CSR program can never see the impact that we would like it to.
Thank you, Ashish. Those were very meaningful examples to share. One thing that stands out at Cummins is the active involvement of our employees in community initiatives. So tell me, Ashish, how does employee volunteering strengthen the impact that we create?
That's actually a great question. So, Shweta, as you are aware, employees bring our values to life. Last year, over 15,000 employees volunteered to participate in a program called Triple EC. The full form of that is Every Employee, Every Community, where employees spend some time in terms of putting in their effort and putting in their time on the company time, in which they go to different communities, whichever they like to, and they end up contributing and playing a role in the community. Now, that is appreciated by the communities we serve because they see the employees making the commitment. We do not just write checks in this company, as you know. We are involved in projects which give our employees a lot of passion, which give us a lot of ability to contribute into the communities we are. And then we end up developing some of the communities as our ambassadors, who then become one of our strongest voices of support and discussion. So this builds ownership and pride in our commitments. And also, small actions like these, 3-4 hours by every employee, adds up to create a very huge impact.
Absolutely right, Ashish. While I have known about this, but the way you put it definitely brings it to the fore for me, how we create some meaningful impact beyond our business. But while work in our communities is important, it all begins with a clear vision for the future. And that brings us back to where we started, our business and the role Cummins continues to play in building a more sustainable world.
Shweta, before I go to my final question, I do have a personal question for you, which is, in your day to day, when you're on your own, on your personal time with family, how do you look at sustainability? And what thoughts cross your mind when you see what you see?
Interestingly, I do think of sustainability many times because when you and I were growing up, life was very different around us. You walk out today, there's much more traffic, there's so much more construction, there's so much more noise. You drop your kid to school, and You feel every day that you didn't deal with this kind of traffic, noise, smog, pollution when you were growing up. The skies don't feel blue anymore. Actually, I think of it every day because of the cities we live in. And there's always this thing at the back of your mind that it is only going to grow. And the children who are growing up, this is what they will get. Versus us who still got blue skies and greener grass and so much more around us to enjoy, which is such a shame that a lot of kids today don't get. So I do think of it many times.
Which also is a perfect segue into asking you about the Cleaner Air, Better Life initiative, which we do with the Confederation of Indian Industry. And since you chair it, and Cummins has been leading it for the last 10 years almost, would you like to talk more about it? It's so relevant to this topic.
I'm so glad that we started it when we did, and we are continuing to do it, to do that work. Although it started as Clean Air, Better Life for the Delhi National Capital Region,
True.
and there was a need for that. And I'm glad that we are doing that, helping solve problems there. But also, we've moved to cities like Indore, Pune. Of course, these are cities where we have our own employee strength, but also many cities which are developing in our country today are facing the same problems. Uh, Definitely, local problems in each city from a environment perspective are different. There are quite a few standard problems which we have seen around the cities today, and I'm so glad that we are a part of bringing people together to talk about them and start solving them together.
So, my final question, which I delayed by asking you the personal question, when you think about the future, what gives you the greatest confidence that Cummins will continue to lead the way for such sustainable growth and continue to do and keep its focus on the things that it is doing right now?
What gives me the biggest hope, Ashish? Cummins has been around for 100 years globally and 63 years in India. And we have always done that. Before people started talking about sustainability, we were doing it.
Yeah.
We were advocating for tighter emission norms.
Absolutely.
We were advocating for working with the communities towards sustainable development of communities. So we were working at it even before this became more prominent around us in the world. So it's in our DNA. It is a part of our purpose. It's a part of all the people who work in Cummins. It has become our culture, our second nature, to look for growth, but do it while taking the environmental agenda forward. That is how we work with our suppliers. That is how we work with our customers, with our technologies. There is no technology that we develop where we do not think, how can we take the sustainability agenda forward as we are working through this technology? There is no new product that we develop where we don't think, how is this bringing the carbon footprint down? How is it reducing the emissions? How is this going to be better for the environment tomorrow? And we have been doing it for ages. So that gives me the hope that it is not something that we are starting today or we started 10 years ago. We started it ages ago. And given the kind of talent that we have, the innovation, the meaningful drive to take leadership in this space and bring in meaningful change, not just for a few news bites, not just to meet compliances, but to actually do it because we believe we can leave a better world after us. There's nothing more exciting, motivating than that. And that's why I feel Cummins will always continue to be leading in that space.
I couldn't agree more with you.
Before we close, I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's a final question. I would love for you to leave a message for our employees. What is the takeaway that you want our employees to have from this conversation that we are having towards building a cleaner future?
Okay, so I alluded to an acronym earlier called EEC, which meant every employee, every community. Now, I'll misuse that acronym for answering your question. The first E for me is every action matters. The second E for me is environmental stewardship is important. The third E for me is it is everyone's responsibility. And the C would mean communities will always come first.
Great. That's really a wonderful answer. I hope everyone takes something back from that.
Thank you, Shweta, for taking out the time today. And more than that, for your commitment to sustainability and also your leadership in helping us go through this process. Thank you all for joining us on Cummins PowerPods.